the big restaurant there and throwing holy water on this new Navy League Council. And admirals don't do that. Admirals don't do that. Maybe a lieutenant does, or maybe a commander, or a lieutenant commander. Admirals don't do that, okay? Don't ask me how that happened. Somebody threw a little bit of whatever, and this admiral, who has a fantastic background himself on the subject,
so we
throws holy water on Navy League Council and the boondocks down in...
Are we talking Bobby Ray Inman at this point?
No, we're talking a different guy entirely.
A different admiral.
Yeah.
Can we know his name or not?
I'd rather not put it in now, but
right.
I'm just saying... what I need to say to you, and to help you in your understanding here, again, for whatever reason, I end up with some 70 retired naval top officers in this council, and you can't justify that in a boony town in southern Oregon that all is there is just chopping down logs.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, I can't give you the answer. I can't give you the answer of why just south of Medford there's a mountain. And there's a mountain there where all of these Navy officers, most of these Navy officers are in business, who they have their own airplanes. They fly all over the United States and Canada. They see UFOs coming south, coming from the east, going into the side of this mountain.
This isn't Mount Shasta, is it?
Mount Shasta.
It is, okay.
And so they take their airplanes and they fly collectively, 7, 8, 9 planes, trying to find the door. And they don't find the door. And then, while they're doing this, 2 of them come out.
Right.
Just next to them, fly right past their airplanes.
Pretty awesome.
Oh my gosh. What did you say? So what are all these,
look, you're in contact, even to this day, with Nordics. You're being influenced, you're being communicated with.
Telepathically. Yes.
Okay? So that's what they did. They basically kind of telepathically said, hey Bill, this'll be a great idea for you. You'll go down, you'll start this association, and if you build it, they will come, right?
And they did.
Yeah.
Okay, and they did, but I can't justify, okay? Why in the world would we have that many top off? One is at a Marine general. Yeah. We had 7 captains.
Well, I can help a little bit with this because as a psychic, whatever you want to call it, I can say that I did go to Shasta, and I was communicated with by the Telos people who had told me it was extremely sad story about how the reptilians had taken over Shasta, and that their whole civilization was at risk. So they perhaps were sending out the, signal, and this was in 2010.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so we're pretty close in dates here as to when your thing happened.
So you were kickstarting the whole operation.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and and that was very moving for me and very shocking, And it was evident also in the terrain. You could actually see there was a frequency fence of some kind that had been put up in that area that was actually killing the wildlife in the pine trees and everything. You could see everything was starting to die. Yeah. Which,
I have to say, it's really almost laughable that you have all these Navy officers. They're all in business, which requires them to have an airplane. They fly. They're talking back and forth between their airplanes. One guy's coming east, the other guy's north, and one comes out of the mountain here, another guy comes in on the other side, and then actually when 2 of them are flying together, they come right out and go between the 2 airplanes. I mean, and and then you say there's no UFOs, okay? I mean, to me,
well, I don't say there's
no, I'm being facetious.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We collectively say there's no
Yes.
such thing as
I
extraterrestrials.
mean, it's, yes, of course, and that's back, you know, back in the ABCs of
Yeah.
this whole subject matter, but amazing stuff, really, it's just amazing, and so that does answer some of my question in that small way, you know,
Okay,
of
yeah.
how this thing germinated to where we're now talking today. But Michael, I know this is jumping back a bit.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm
But-
okay.
Did you get your question answered about the moon?
Yeah, I think so. I want to just kind of get back on that really quickly. Bill, when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed at Tranquility Base on July 20th of 1969, were they given foreknowledge of what they were going to find when they got there, or were they just flying blind and they
They
saw?
sort of had foreknowledge. Let me tell you why. Okay, we talk about these. You've heard their comments about, oh my gosh, there are other crafts out here. This is before you get to the moon. They're flying from here to the moon, and so then they describe some of these. Okay, one or two of the very large kilometer or 2 kilometer long spacecraft carriers came in from one side of the Apollo control module. So the Apollo's coming here, this vehicle is coming in like it's going to go exactly into the vehicle, our vehicle. And of course it makes the turn, and you essentially get the feeling you're being given the finger, okay? So you go on, you make your rotation around, you get all set up and to land. And so as you're landing from down behind the crater, these vehicles come up and park. Okay? Some of the guys come out and they stand there underneath on the edge of the crater. So we got 2 guys here and another guy still going around the planet up there, which he has to get back into. And they're doing their thing. Well, again, they didn't put the flag up first. They put up a Freemason flag, and then they got this great Freemason plaque, which they put down, and the Freemasons take over the moon, right? Okay, that's what the plaque is for.
With these reptilians watching,
Yeah, yeah. And so
not
now
interfering.
then they put the American flag up, okay? And then they start walking around taking their pictures. And all around the edge of the crater are all these great big things, which
So
are
did Neil Armstrong-
his statement, Armstrong. Sir, you've got to see these. They're massive. They're threatening. They're threatening us. Wow.
Did Neil Armstrong take motion picture film footage of these vehicles?
Yes.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think was the talk inside the command module when they redocked with Michael Collins? What do you think Buzz and Neil told Michael Collins? What was that discussion about?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
First of all, okay, really, because this is totally. Now, remember, we had sent up vehicles with cameras on them to go around the moon to try to figure out, you know, all of the requirements, not only for the selection where the landing was going to be, but try to come up with some sort of a feel of what our situation was going to be when we got there, okay? So that's all been going on before. So we have seen and we have photographed structures on the other side of the moon. And next to those structures, a ways away, are foundations of many different buildings that are there. So we've already photographed. We knew that
Okay, well, I'm going to go back even further than that, though, because we know the Nazis had been to the moon, right?
Yeah.
You admitted that, and not only that, but one of my witnesses, Mark Richards, is Captain Mark Richards from the Secret Space Program, from Space Command. He is a Navy, he was a Navy officer on the side of the Navy, and he was, I don't know if you've ever heard of one of the craft that he was famous for flying, which is called Minerva, which is an artificially intelligent craft. Vehicle that very few people can apparently even interact with, let alone drive.
Yeah.
So he's in prison in Northern California because he's, I guess, he's been framed for murder, and he's the enemy of the reptilians who are in office and Dracos. But he said that by the 60s and early 60s, we had a base on the moon, even though we'd been told no, we couldn't.
Okay.
And he said that's because Curtis LeMay wouldn't take no for an answer.
Could be. I don't know.
That sounds a lot.
You don't know about that
No,
part.
I don't know.
Okay.
But that could be possible.
All right.
Okay.
And he read your book because I sent it to him, and he said it lines up with everything he knows.
Okay. I'm sorry he's in prison.
Yeah, well, I think that, you know, with your revelations, maybe someone could actually turn some keys somewhere and get him out.
Yeah.
He's almost an elderly man at this point. He's in his late 60s, I think.
Oh, okay.
Not as old as you.
Yeah.
But he was chosen the same way you were, he said, when he was very young.
Well, that's where I was trying to get back to him, that it's not just one or two people that are selected, okay? There's hundreds and hundreds of these people actually all over the planet. There's Russians too, and there's Chinese. And so, but unfortunately, not making this nice, some are on their white hats, and we like them, but we've got a lot of people with black hats that are selected to implement whatever. And this is a real problem. And you can't cover this part of it up and just say, I don't believe that, okay?
Oh, yeah.
We are stuck with situations, plural, not one, but situations with which we don't have control over. And we are being used, we have been being used, and I hate to say this, but we're just a laboratory for them. Stop and think, that's not your moon, this is not your planet, and they own the planet, and we are their lab. We're their laboratory, and they're associates laboratories, other extraterrestrials coming in, doing their agenda.
Yes. And this has been going on for eons, and we know about this, but I have to say, there is a reason for all of this, and I want to get to this idea that the Nordics are coming here. Mark said the same thing to me. Around the same time you're releasing this, he was saying to me, on my one-on-one interview with him in prison, I go to interview him in prison, I've done it 5 times now, and he said, the Nordics want the humans to come up to speed militarily and in terms of consciousness, etc., so that they can join the fight against the reptilians and Dracos that are basically plundering the galaxies, taking over planets, etc. And you've said something very similar to that.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I'm just saying that this is our situation, and it's.
And our military is very aware of this, and so what they've been doing is funneling what we call black project money, billions, into building this secret space program that's now practically what we call a rogue civilization. It's almost living so far in advance of the way we live in terms of technology and in terms of everything else.
Okay, adding to that, You have Solar Warden. People don't believe that we have Solar Warden, okay?
I believe it, yeah.
Okay, but it is 8 Navy space battle groups with destroyers, cruisers, other vehicles, support vehicles, transports, trucks, all kinds of stuff. They're operating off of Nordic bases, okay? Their families, their children live in Nordic facilities. They go to Nordic restaurants for food. Just like the 6 people in Lockheed, which are here, working, or they have their own facilities in an area in Burbank. Those 6 fellows have wives and children. They're in the public schools there. They go to restaurants and they go.
Nobody knows their
And
Nordics.
the manager of that 6 group, they are. They have their own mission, which again is talking about this region of the galaxy, this arm, and so they could just as well have been on board the moon facilities, but they're local. And yes, once in a while they help the skunk works, but that's not their job. They're not contracted. And okay, he lives 3,700 comparable years, and so do the children, the wife. Okay, the children go to the schools, but every hour they put in class, they're being taught telepathically their own information, because they can finish a 4-year college degree by 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Sure.
And they're right here in Burbank. Now, yes, we've got all this other stuff out there too that's being operated in the same manner, and those people are they're not necessarily here as a contract to help Lockheed, but yes, they do once in a while talk with the skunk works, make side issues, make side suggestions. So.
Okay, but what about you? Because you're 93 years old. Were you not offered to live 3,000 years, or did you? What's your relationship with them? Are they just giving you upgrades so you lasted even this long, or are they gonna allow you to leave the Earth and leave this body, this vehicle, and go back and join them?
Let's talk for a minute about extended life.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, extended life didn't start here in the United States last week. Okay? Mm-hmm. Extended life was even implemented into the information that the Draco reptilian group educated some of the German people. So,
no doubt about it. 'Cause
now, so again, you say, well, what's extended life? Extended life was heavily involved in the secret think tank inside of Douglas. Okay, another subject. But then at TRW, where I worked later on, it was a really big program. I mean, really big program with hundreds of people involved. Okay?
But even before that, the Nazis were reverse aging people.
Yes.
I have a witness about that who actually said Werner von Braun was one of them.
Okay, I've heard that. I don't know that.
All right. Fine.
Dr. Debus, all I got was he shaked his head. So I don't know that when that came up.
Shaked his head no or yes?
No.
Uh-huh.
So maybe he was, I don't know.
Right.
All
Well,
right.
why would they tell us?
Yeah,
okay.
whatever. and I spent a lot of time with that whole week with essentially the #1 guy managing NASA. Okay, Von Braun was supposedly the head of everything. Debus was the real head of everything.
Okay.
Okay, back to extended life. As it is sort of addressed today, what you do is you take an aspirin-sized pill, one every month for 4 months, okay? Or it could be an injection. Immediately you start feeling much better, okay? Immediately you start feeling much better. At the end of, or probably way before 4 months, the guys revert back to the latest number is 29. I've heard 23, I've heard all different dates, but say you go back to 29. So you've got everything physically that you had at that age, muscular, everything. And the young ladies go back to 21, okay? You have everything that you had at that point, plus you have a minimum of 400% greater capability of your brain, okay?
Okay, so that, you have said that on other shows. Now I want to know, again, what's their relationship with you? Are you going to take one of those pills one of these days?
I want to sign up for the program.
You do?
Yeah, I want to sign up with a program. I want my wife to sign up for it. I want my son to sign up. I want my daughter and their families to sign up, okay?
But is there a but in there somewhere, or is that fine, or have you gotten an, okay on that? Or?
I haven't been able to sign up yet, okay? But I'm just saying that's a very real program. It has accomplished both men and women to move partway back, not the full 400% of the mind, but like 350, okay? The plan is 400% maximum, maybe 800% greater use of the brain. Obviously, what the Nordics are already using, okay, because the Nordic guys and girls go to 3,400 years. Come on, comparable years. So this is, again, part of our problem here, because we're being taught by the reptilians lies. We're being taught incorrect information, even incorrect astronomy.
Yes.
Everything is incorrect.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Okay, but one footnote. The Anunnaki that Zecharia Sitchin talked about, the Anunnaki are these reptilians, are they not, in most cases?
Yeah.
But there are some positive Anunnaki, are they not? Aren't there? In other words, that have started to change their ways, let's say.
Yes, and we got these blue people too. They got a little hair on their legs, but they're nice people. Okay, they're helping. And
they're very tall.
Yes.
Yes.
And but
I've been in touch with them as well in India.
Wonderful. They're good people.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
But we're just talking about 2s and 3s here. We've got, documented 23 different types of extraterrestrials, most of them being good people, okay? But then we've got these massive capability with facilities of the Draco extraterrestrial side that, they're controlling. And they don't just control this planet, we're just one of their planets that they control.
Is Mars under their rule or not? Because I know we have bases on Mars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And so one of the whistleblowers out there says there are wars going on because there are different bases on Mars between those bases.
Okay, and yes, many people, including myself, have